Hey guys, what's up? It's Scott Clark with Scooter Media, and in today's video, I'm going to be providing an update on the ASUS Zenbook Pro Duo laptop that I reviewed a little over a year ago. And for any of you looking at purchasing an ASUS product or an ASUS laptop, you might want to stick around for this. Let's get into it. So I bought this computer a little over a year ago, and I did a review about it 11 months ago, and at the time I was super pumped. I don't know if I mentioned it. This was my very first laptop. I've been doing video editing work for approximately 10-15 years now, but I've always used desktop computers. I ended up starting to travel a little bit and thought, you know, maybe I can get a little bit of work done while I'm out and about, so maybe it's time for me to go get myself a laptop. And since I do video production work and video editing, and that's basically what I'm going to be using the machine for, I thought I'd go all in on whatever it is that I'm going to get, and I got the flagship model, which was this ASUS Zenbook Pro Duo. It's got the two screens. It's the i9, at the time was the 10th, 11th generation, I can't remember, but it was, you know, top of the line specs, 32 gigs of RAM, everything that I needed for my business and my work to do video editing on. And honestly, for the first year, it was amazing. I love this thing. I said I would never go to another computer unless it had the two screens because I loved it so much. I love this thing so much that I bought my wife an ASUS laptop, you know, just to run of the mill to do her everyday, you know, Word and Excel files and that kind of stuff and banking and whatnot. And I also bought my kids two ASUS Chromebooks for school because I was so happy with the product. And honestly, for the year that I used it, I was pumped. I never had one single issue, loved it. And then I believe it was November 14th hit. And this is when we get into the bad. So we'll talk about what happened. So November 14th, I am working on putting out a invoice. So I'm just working in Excel, nothing strenuous on the computer. And all of a sudden it just died. Like it just pixelated, the screens all went all pixelated. And it just kind of died. It was still on, the power was still on, my screens were just frozen. So I thought all I have to do is just power this down, power it up, and we're back in business. So I did power it down. When I powered it back up, I had power on, but nothing. Two black screens, couldn't do anything. Tried going in and doing the safe restart, just couldn't get it to do anything. So sent it to a friend of mine just to get my footage and my files and all my data and information off of there first. He was able to do that, and so I was happy I was able to save everything on the computer. But just to give you guys a little bit of a background, this computer has left my house maybe 5 to 10 times total. It's been plugged in the entire time. I very rarely ever used it not plugged in using the battery power. I've always had it set to performance mode and the battery to whatever the best setting is. I think it's up to 80%, and that will save your battery. So I have basically used this thing at home, plugged in all the time, and all I've really done on it is video editing and video production work. That's basically it. And this was my main everyday computer for everything else, but as far as intensive stuff, it was just the video editing and the video work on this computer. So the computer's died, I've got my footage back, now we need to get it fixed, and I would consider this part the ugly. So this is kind of where it goes really downhill for me. And just to state, I did not do any kind of extended warranty, it's not something I generally do. So I know in this case that it was just bad luck that this thing died. There's nothing I can do about it as far as the actual physical problem with the computer. Something happened, I get that, it's out of warranty, I get that as well. That's totally on me. I'm not making a big deal or any kind of a stink about that portion of it. I do understand that. And there's so much packed into this little machine and so much heat dissipation and whatnot. I get there, you know, I'm putting this thing through its paces. I get that. The fact that it died after a year sucks for me, but you know, these things happen and I do understand that. But when it came time to get this thing fixed and the customer service side of things, this is where I would consider things got ugly. Now, I will explain that in order to send this in for repairs, you have to go to the ASUS website, you have to fill out a report and then send this in, you have to pay to get it diagnosed. And I understand all that. But going to the website, I am based here in Canada, so I went to ASUS Canada. I go to start filling out the form and it's telling me to put in my zip code. Now here in Canada, we have postal codes, we don't have zip codes. It's basically the same thing. But anyways, the form that I was trying to fill out would not let me fill out any kind of postal code. It would not let me fill in my address. It was basically unusable. So at this point, I cannot fill out the form to get this thing looked at. So I phone. So the only number I could find that was local to me, I'm in here again, here in Ontario, Canada, was Markham, Ontario, and that is where they do the repairs. So I phone the Markham, Ontario repair shop. I get told that I need to call the head office. Then when I call the head office, I get told that I need to talk to somebody in the not under warranty department. So they, play phone tag and I get bumped around a whole bunch of places. And I finally land on somebody that I'm talking to. And I explain my situation that I just want to get the computer in for repairs. And how do I do that? I can't fill out the sheet. I can't fill out the form. It seems like it's not a Canadian form. How do I get my computer to you guys to fix? So the gentleman stayed on the phone with me for quite some time, went through, tried to figure out what the problem was, sent me a link for me to now fill out the form. I go on the computer, I start filling out the form. I run into the exact same problem again. I cannot fill out my zip code. I cannot put in my postal code because it says zip. I cannot fill out my address. I'm basically stuck in the exact same position I was after the 3 or 4 phone call tags that they've sent me on. And now I've got to phone back again, so a third time, to tell them and go through exactly what I've gone through with 2 people so far. And at this point, it's getting a little frustrating because I just want to get this thing in. I just want to get it repaired. It shouldn't be this difficult. So anyways, talk to somebody else on the phone, explain the whole situation for a third time. Then they put me on hold for, 10, 15 minutes, then come back and tell me I need to be on the Canadian ASUS website and fill out the Canadian form, which I then tell them I have been on the Canadian website every time. And this is, I keep getting this American form to fill out. I phone you guys, explain the whole situation. You send me the American form to fill out. I phone you guys again. And eventually I got the Canadian form to fill out. It cost me about $100 for me to fill out the form, go take this to Staples. They wrap it all up, send it all off through FedEx. It gets to ASUS in Markham at the repair center on December 1st. I am told within 7 days, I will get a diagnostic report with what is wrong with the computer, and then it's up to me to decide whether or not I want to fix it or not. So the 7 days goes by, I haven't heard anything. I go on the website. The website has now changed to say they can't complete the repairs in time. They will get back to me at some point in time. Sorry for any inconvenience. So not sure why or what the story is, just sorry for your luck. Your computer's not going to be done in the 7 days that we told you it would be, which is fine. I do understand, I know there's staffing issues. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world and I get it. And then I believe it was December 14th or 15th by the time that I got the diagnostic report back. So a little over 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks or so by the time they got it to me. Not a big deal. But I get sent this thing and it basically says, to fix your computer, it is going to cost you $2,700 tax in. Doesn't tell me what's wrong with the computer, doesn't tell me what needs to be fixed, doesn't tell me what parts need to be done. For all I know, it could be a power supply that costs $5, but they gave me the sheet. It says, here's what it's going to cost you, $2,700, and do you want to get it fixed or not? You have 3 days to reply. So I want to call somebody and just ask them, what's wrong with it? What needs to be repaired? Why does it cost $2,700 to fix it? So I phone ASUS Canada first. I get, we're sorry, the phone number you're dialing is not available. Please try again, which is odd, but okay. So then I go to a different phone number, the Markham repair shop that had my computer. I phone that number. We're sorry, the number you've dialed is not available. Please try again. I cannot figure out what's going on now. I can't get through on the phone, so I go to their website. And then buried within a whole bunch of website pages is a little thing that says, our phone lines are completely shut down. We do not have any customer service at this time. Sorry for any inconvenience. So now I have 3 days to let them know whether or not I want to get my computer fixed or not. And if I don't let them know in 3 days, they just ship it back automatically and assume that you don't want to get it fixed. So I have 3 days to let them know whether or not I want to get it fixed, yet I have no idea what's wrong with it, can't find anybody to talk to, cannot get any information as to what's wrong with it. and now I'm down to 2 days because my first day is gone. So the second day, I'm very frustrated. I can't get through on the phones. This is the middle of the week. I decide, okay, even though I don't usually do the chat with someone online, maybe I can chat with someone online and talk to them just to get to the bottom of this and figure out, what does my computer need? What is wrong? What's happened with it? What is going on? So I go to do the chat with somebody online, and then I get a pop-up that says business hours are 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Mountain Pacific time. I don't even know what it said, to be honest. I live here in Canada. It was the middle of the day during the week. There's got to be somebody somewhere that I should be able to talk to. So I just want to be upfront with this. I think this customer service was atrocious. I ended up saying, forget it, don't fix my computer. The thing cost me about $5,000 with taxes in. So for them to charge me $2,700 to fix something without even telling me what's wrong with it is ridiculous. And the fact that it died literally a month after the warranty was up is ridiculous. And again, I know these things happen, but there should be a way to talk to somebody and at least find out what's wrong. I understand things go wrong. I just wanted to know what went wrong, what is it, why is it costing so much? Explain to me why it's gonna cost so much to get this fixed, and then I can make my decision. Not, here's what it's gonna cost you without knowing what's wrong. I just think it's ridiculous. I basically have now a $5,000 paperweight, and I don't think after this experience, I will buy another ASUS product in my life ever again. And I just wanted to kind of be upfront with you guys. I wanted to be transparent and explain everything, whether it's good or bad, on this channel. And that way, if there's anybody that's thinking about getting this computer or something else, they at least know what I have been through with my experience with this computer. And again, just want to reiterate that I love the computer itself. I had 0 issues with it for a year and a month, never had 1 issue. I loved it. It was great for my video editing. Like I said, I was never going to switch. I was going to go always back to this 2-screen because I think it's amazing for my line of work. However, after dealing with ASUS customer service, if you can even call it that, I think it's atrocious. I personally will probably never buy another ASUS product again. And again, just wanted to share this with you and be upfront and transparent about everything that I've dealt with this computer. All right, guys, that's it for my rant today. If you did find value in this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, as it really does make a difference. And I'd love to have you join me on this YouTube journey. Please remember to hit that notification bell to stay up to date with everything coming out on this channel. If you are interested in checking out my original review of the Zenbook Pro Dual laptop computer, please click on the link right here to check that out. Thanks for watching today's video. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.